Alright, now it's time to work on authentication. We already have a registration page, so I'm gonna open up file with routes. Here we also see the route definition for registration page. I'm going to modify it slightly. We're going to move register template into auth folder that we are about to create within pages folder. Let's add this folder and move register blade.php within this newly created folder auth. I'm gonna start adding markup into this view, but before that, let's copy markup of the section that we usually use on most pages and paste it into this view. But in here, we're going to change this title on register. Alright, next one, we're going to add a registration form down below. So let's get back to the editor. In here, I will add the following markup. We will create form element and assign wfull class in order for this form to stretch. Inside this form, let's add a couple more divs and label for the first input field. The div will be a flexible container where elements will flow vertically and the distance between children will be 4 units. Down here, there will be an input field to enter name. And I'm going to make the label text bolder and bind this label to the input field by using form element that will have to contain the same value as ID attribute on the input field itself. And this way, when clicking on label, our input field will automatically get focus. Let's get to styling this input field. I will round corners of this field. The color of the border will be gray with a shade of 300. When focusing this input field, the border color will become violet with a shade of 300. And we'll also use outline for this field. The color of this outline will be violet with a shade of 200. But this outline will only be visible when we are gonna focus input field, which is why we have used focus prefix for both of these classes. The next class will be ring opacity 50, which will make this outline semi-transparent. And then I will also assign hfull class to apply height 100% for this input field. In the browser we're seeing the result, but I'm going to move this input field right in the center of the page. So first of all, let's make this div flexible container where elements will flow vertically and the distance between all children will be 1 unit. And to make it stretch, I will assign class grow. But this is too wide, and in order to restrict the width of this form, I will apply max WLG class to the container element right here, which will restrict max width of the form. We can even slightly simplify this markup a bit by combining form element and the first div within this form by simply moving all the classes from the div and applying them on this form element, and then this div can be removed. Now we'll have to duplicate this field couple more times. The next field will be used to input an email. Let's update all necessary attributes accordingly. We're gonna use email value for attribute, type, as well as ID. Next one, I will paste this field one more time to create another field to input password. In this case, we are using password value for the following attributes, including type of this field. And eventually, we're gonna need to add one more field, which will be used to confirm password. Let's update text in this label on confirm password, and the identifier of this field will be password confirmation. And great, the registration form is almost done. We'll just have to add a couple of buttons at the bottom. So I will add another div element within which I will put link as well as button. The link will lead to the login page. The text will say already registered and button will say register. And just to grab the address of the login page, I'm gonna use route helper and specify name of the login page. This way we're gonna get URL address of this page. And now let's position those children elements within this container on the same line. And to do this, I'm gonna use flex class to turn this div into flexible container and position elements in a center by using item center class. And the minimum distance between those children will be 2 units. And those children elements will be positioned as far as possible from each other. And before applying the rest of classes, let's just make sure that already registered link works and redirects us to the login page. As you can see, it is working. Let's get back to the editor and continue applying other classes to style those elements, so the link will also be flexible container with the content centered. To avoid line breaks, I'm gonna use whitespace no wrap class. We're gonna round corners of this link and make text bolder. Horizontal paddings will be 4 units and vertical ones will be 2 units. The background color of this link will be gray with a shade of 100, and when hovering over this button, color will become gray with a shade of 200. And here is the result that we got after applying all those classes. Now, as for this register button, I'm also going to apply flex class to center the content. We'll also avoid line breaks in this button. The cursor will become pointer when hovering over this button. We'll also round corners, make text semi-bold. Horizontal paddings will be 4 units, vertical ones will be 2 units, just like for the link. Let's not forget an assigned background color. We'll make it violet with a shade of 500. Text color will be white. And when hovering over this button, background color will become violet with a shade of 600. And that's about it. We have created our registration form. At the end, we can also remove wfull class that I have previously applied to this form element. In this case, it will not make a difference, so I'm gonna remove this class. Link to the source code of this project will be in the video description.